Maybe I've just missed it, or maybe the limitation on the size of the wood or the turn to piece being made precludes mitering wood this way. No doubt my experience and knowledge are limited. So this is either a community service or a fool's errand. I'm sure your comments will help sort that out. Not sure about the proper nomenclature for this type of miter cut. Have heard splayed miter or tapered polygon miter and even a stave bolt cut. No matter what it is really called, I haven't seen anyone do these cuts on a miter saw. In fact, I've seen some very complicated math and table saw apparatus to make these cuts. My table saw isn't very precise, and making special brackets to attach to the table saw just isn't me. Well, this type of cut can be done on a simple miter saw. Granted, using a miter saw has its limitations. It isn't for precise work, but for my tools and purposes, it works great. So without any further fanfare, I thought I would share what I have come to call the random angle miter cut. Using an L-shaped bracket clamped to the miter saw, this will hold and help guide the wood through the miter at an angle. This first piece is a Douglas fir board at 2 1/4 inches wide, specifically set at 20 degrees. The actual miter setting is 30 degrees, so that the bowl will be 6-sided. You can use any normal setting for making an equilateral polygon shape. For example, could have used 22.5 degrees for 8 sides, 20 degrees for 9 sides, or 18 degrees for 10. As you can see, it came out quite nicely. Without changing the bracket, this second plywood board was 3 1/4 inches wide. With the same bracket set up, it had an angle of 13 degrees. Again, here I used 30 degrees for a 6-sided polygon. Doing it this way with different widths on a single guide setting, the angle of the bowl sides change as the width of the wood changes. The thinner the width, the larger the angle. This final oak board at only 1 3/4 inches and is the thinnest using the same bracket setting, so the angle moved to 24.5 degrees. Still using the actual miter setting at 30 degrees to create a 6-sided equilateral polygon. Also note, while you can't see it, the saw surface was marked to measure the lengths of the cuts for all these bowls. One of the drawbacks is having to figure out how to finalize the bottom of the bowl. Obviously, you can sand it down or cut it level, but a simple method is to use resin. A slight sanding to make sure there is a good contact with the tenon piece for gluing, then just fill as needed with resin. One of the upsides of this provides for a nice scalloped edge. You can see that if you hang around to watch these get finished. There are a couple other tricks I use with the random angle miter, or the ram cut for short, particularly when making vases. I will share some of those tricks in future video posts. Should also make a note that this is similar to the process for cutting crown molding, and there is even a tool for the miter saw to cut crown molding, although I have never personally used one. Hope this was helpful. If so, please subscribe. But for now, I will just finish these 3 bowls and call it a day. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for your time.